You can't help everyone, and that's okay. Hey all, my name is Colin. I am the resident Bible scholar and nerd here at the Bible Uncut and Unfiltered. We've been starting a little bit of a new series here, just talking through some odds and ends that I wish had been shared with me when I first became a Christian. This is the stuff that I wish I knew. And today I want to talk about how you don't have to help everyone. In the circles of Christianity that I grew up in, there was a lot of guilt put on people if they did not agree to do things constantly for the church. You were expected to be ready to say yes to anything and everything that you got voluntold to do. And if you did it with a bad attitude, you got yelled at for that too. But that's not actually a biblical way to live. And big shout out to Leslie Vernick for this one. I saw an article on her website. We'll link to this in the notes here. But she was talking about the difference between real guilt and false guilt. And a lot of times we get this false guilt where we feel badly for things that aren't actually our responsibility to feel badly for. And she gives the example in the Gospel of Mark of when Jesus is at Peter's house and the entire town comes out to talk and to meet Jesus and to have him heal their sick and to cure diseases and to do all different kinds of miracles. And at that point, Jesus actually gets up in the middle of the night, walks off, spends some time by himself, and then when he gets back to his disciples says, "It's time for us to leave." Now, there were still people in that town, people who needed him, people who hadn't been healed, people who could have had their lives changed by him. And yet he still discerned that he needed to go somewhere else and help people in a different place. Now, if the literal Son of God did not try to help every single person in the world, or how about even just in Israel, or even just in the town that he was in, you don't have to either. Jesus had the discernment to know that he had to go wherever the biggest need was at that time. And that's a very important lesson for us to learn as well. It's good to want to help other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people pleasers and people helpers think that they have to say yes to everything. Because, well, what if there was a need that I could meet and I didn't actually do it, and there's just all this anxiety around it. But Jesus himself didn't heal everybody in Israel in his lifetime. That's why there are other people. That's why we can't do everything on our own. We need other people around us to be able to help meet needs that we can't. So I think this is an important lesson that a lot of Christians need to learn. It's the power of saying no to things. And I'm not saying to everything. Obviously it's good to help out other people, but don't feel like you have to say yes to everything. And if somebody pressures you into that or guilts you for saying no or setting up boundaries, they are not being biblical with that. They are not pleasing God with that. And you have every right to refuse to accept any guilt from them for taking care of yourself. And most people who experience this kind of guilt are already helping way more people than the average person. So keep that in mind as well. Go where you feel led, do what you need to do in life, and just as you're going about your daily life, if an opportunity arises, be a help, be a blessing to people around you. But don't feel like you need to go in search of people to help. God will place people in your life that need your help, but you can't save everyone. And if even Jesus didn't try to, I don't think you need to either.